So, when we think about collaborative response, we often talk about the importance of meetings and how we set up those collaborative structures and processes. But in this episode, we want to talk about why there's actually no such thing as a collaborative response meeting. And even though the title of the episode is Stop Calling It Your Collaborative Response Meeting, we're definitely not going to take that same tone that the title might suggest. So we want to talk about why that would be in place and what could be some considerations that you could be making within your own collaborative response structures.
Are you a leader who is navigating the nuances of leading collaborative response in your school or district? Are you unsure of what collaborative response is? Are you looking to understand the critical role leadership plays when establishing and refining a collaborative response approach?
Collaborative response began as a grassroots approach to focus on the needs of students through a framework of collaboration. That approach has grown to a movement that is training leadership and education.
Through the Leading Collaborative Response podcast, Kurtis and I share our own experiences of leading collaborative response and lessons learned as we continue to learn and gain insight through the experiences of working alongside others. We also have the opportunity to engage in conversations with school and divisional leaders implementing the framework in their own organizations.
We know great leaders build great teams because that is what every child deserves. Subscribe to the Leading Collaborative Response podcast and join the thousands of schools seeing success for students through intentional and focused collaborative efforts.
Before we jump into the episode, remember to join our mailing list at jlinsiders.com. Every Saturday, we send out an exclusive video only to our mailing list, along with other templates, resources, videos, and more. We also share upcoming events and opportunities you may not hear about anywhere else. Go to jlinsiders.com to become part of the JL Insider community. So let's get started with this. I'm often reminded of work that we both had an opportunity to engage in around professional learning communities.
Oh, yeah.
And I can remember Rick Dufour, and again, that work was seminal to what we've been able to learn and understand around collaborative response. A lot of the early iterations and foundational understandings came from that professional learning community's literature, largely through the work of Rick Dufour. I can remember him talking about people naming their PLC. So did you want to talk a little bit about an article that we had come across at one point that actually helped us rethink some of our language at that time?
Yeah, for sure. So a while back we had come across this article and it was called "What's a PLC Meeting Anyway?" And just with that kind of understanding that we actually are naming things with a heading or a topic, but maybe we're not really purposefully thinking about what that's about. And this article went on to say, that the author had heard things like, our PLC is on Tuesday, or we're PLCing on Wednesday.
Oh, it just became a verb.
Yeah. And a number of other ways that you hear that coming in. And as that article went on, it went on to say, actually, a PLC is not a meeting. And that statement in itself is really impactful because it's not about a meeting. It is about the processes that happen through that and the work that occurs because of that, but it's not a meeting.
It's almost that the meeting creates the larger ethos, that culture. And that really comes back to when we made that initial move a number of years ago away from a collaborative response model or a CRM to collaborative response, because really collaborative response it's bigger than
Much
just a
bigger.
model. It's a way of thinking. It's a way of being within our school. I've been sharing recently the idea that it's how we collaboratively respond to the needs of our students. And that incorporates a lot of components and elements within our building. But oftentimes when we start sharing that work, people are drawn immediately to the collaborative team meeting. And then that's actually what we suggest is start with the collaborative team meeting. It's one part of your collaborative response work, but it's a really critical part because we're reframing how we talk about students. It's the linchpin, but it's the starting place.
And rightfully so, because the collaborative team meeting is actually a very unique structure that doesn't occur in a lot of other frameworks. And so it's not a structure that we've ever really seen in schools around that process of working through key issues. So it is a very unique structure. So you can kind of understand why people connect the collaborative team meeting with collaborative response. But we know that collaborative response, when we provide a collaborative response or where we are intending to ensure that we are collaboratively responding to the needs of our students, it is not a one-time thing or a one meeting.
Or a single meeting. And this is where it comes to the topic that we're looking at today.
We'll be right back to continue this episode. Are you wanting to take your PLC, MTSS, and RTI efforts to the next level? Collaborative response is frequently described as the missing piece when establishing highly intentional and focused cultures of collaboration and intervention that build upon and enhance what you are currently doing in your school or district. Collaborative response is a school-wide framework that ensures we are creating the best possible scenario for success for both our students and our staff. Just as you might have imagined, it is designed to ensure we collaboratively respond to the needs of each and every one of our learners, as well as intentionally grow the capacity of every adult regardless of their role. Download our free Overview of Collaborative Response article to gain an understanding of collaborative response, which ensures intentional alignment between layered collaborative structures and processes that put students at the center of the conversation, thoughtful and purposeful collection and analysis of data and evidence, and the development of school-wide continuums of support that identifies interventions, strategies, and accommodations to successfully support all students. We don't tier the kids, we tier the supports. Go to jigsawlearning.ca to download this overview article for free and begin learning about the power of collaborative response to transform how your school responds to the needs of all learners. And now back to our conversation.
So I engage with a lot of schools that are engaging in their collaborative team meetings with high fidelity. The process is doing exactly what we want, but at this point in time, we've called it our collaborative response meeting, which is natural. Lots of schools, that's where we start. But what we would suggest over time is renaming that, because when we say our collaborative response meeting, what we are inadvertently messaging out to our team is collaborative response is that thing we do for 40 minutes, every 5 weeks or so.
It's a one thing.
Yeah. And I see that oftentimes when I come into schools to engage in some feedback for the school, and I ask a team member, so tell me about collaborative response in your building. And they'll go right to, oh, we really like that meeting. It's working great, which again, that's not a bad thing. It's a good starting place. But in time, we want to understand that that meeting they're referencing is one part of all these other things that we're doing to collaboratively respond, which is why in time, the layering of our meetings becomes so important. The data and evidence, the continuum of supports and the tier 1 non-negotiables that we establish, the tier 3 interventions that come, all of these things are part of our collaborative response. It's not just a meeting.
Well, and the collaborative team meeting is just one component of one of the 3 foundational structures within
foundational components for us
within collaborative response.
Absolutely. So one of our suggestions, and worked through this with numerous schools, is I would suggest a subtle change in the language. And we refer to it as a collaborative team meeting, not a collaborative response meeting, or the one that really gets me is it's our CREM. When we break that acronym of CRM down even further, oh, it's so great that you're here to be able to see our CREM later this afternoon. And always go, oh, I think we need to start expanding that understanding over time. But we've seen schools that maybe they don't call it their collaborative team meeting. They call it our tier 2 response meeting or our key issue focused collaboration. Yeah, we could name it something different, but we'd really encourage in time to not refer to any one meeting type as your collaborative response meeting, because we want to be able to message out to our teams that all of the meetings that we have are a part of our collaborative response. And in time, we want to see alignment and through lines that exist from when we're meeting to analyze overall school data to inform our priorities and goals moving forward, to the times when we're coming together to talk about one child and what is the support that we need to put in place. And then everything in between, including our collaborative team meetings and our school support team meetings, all of this becomes part of our overall collaborative response. So that would be our one suggestion to consider as you move forward. And again, this is not an indictment of schools that have a collaborative response meeting currently, but we would suggest in time as you continue to move forward and continue adding the next steps and the next part of the process that you probably are going to hit a wall at some point with overall understanding when collaborative response is indicating one meeting. It's bigger. So that's what we will share. We'd love to hear your thoughts. We'd love to hear what are some of the naming structures that you've put into place for your layers of team within your collaborative response. And as always, please reach out if there's questions that you have or if you'd like to engage in some further conversations. With that, we wish you all the best, and until next time.
See you soon.
This podcast is a proud member of the Teach Better Podcast Network. Better today, better tomorrow, and the podcast to get you there. Explore more podcasts at www.teachbetterpodcastnetwork.com. We'll see you on the next episode.